All right, all right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. How you feeling, Anthony? How you feeling about those Dolphins?
Man, I was there. No trade happened. Remember we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy the game and historic. I mean, it was. I thought they were gonna win, but to score 70 points and do it the way they did, that was
Yeah, no, none
another
of us
another impressive day. Yeah, I mean, how could you
none of
expect
us
that? Another
I
another
had
really
total
impressive day.
confidence. I had
Yeah,
total confidence in them. I didn't think Denver was very good. I know they played two tight games, but I laid the 6, and then when it went down to 5.5, the morning of the game, I doubled up, and I think these guys are going to rout them. Not that kind of route.
yeah.
I, I
I,
said I said in the pregame that they're going to win by 10, at least
okay,
by
yeah.
10.
See,
So I
that's
thought that
that's
they would win comfortable.
that seems reasonable. I knew they were gonna be good this year. Obviously, they're very talented. They were good last year, except for injuries.
Right.
But it's still hard for me to comprehend what's going on. I mean, again, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since I was 12 years old. Like
I,
this is just I've never seen this before.
you know, I say this all the time. My favorite Dolphin fans are the young fans like your age,
Yeah,
because you guys have never seen anything and you're still fans. And that's impressive. Dude, I saw the 70s.
right.
I was a kid. I was 7 and 8 years old when they won the Super Bowls. But then I finished out those teams, and then I saw the Woodstock and then the Marino teams. So I've had good Dolphin years, but like people your age, you've had
Yeah,
no Dolphin years, bro. You've had no success. You've had nothing. And I'm amazed at people like you all that are fans. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, the Dolphins this week scored like I don't know, like a Knicks Heat game of the 90s,
yeah. I mean,
in the
it's
70s and the 80s.
the
Those
best
games.
memory I have of the Dolphins probably is going to Naples because the game was blacked out with their last playoff win against the Colts.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
think it was Lamar Smith. Was it his name was Lamar Smith, the
Yeah,
running
yeah,
back
Lamar Smith,
for
yeah.
the touchdown
Got the 200
overtime.
yards.
Driving to Naples with my dad to watch that game because we couldn't watch it here. It was blacked out, and that was their last playoff win. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see, obviously how good they are and all the love they're getting around the country.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of fun, and it's been needed for a long, long time because now that's the nice thing that we see Inter turn the corner. The Panthers are obviously already good. Dolphins get back on track. I think Mario is taking the Canes, in the right direction. All we need is the Marlins to kind of make a real commitment to winning. Yeah, 'cause it's funny. You're the only one that's been, you and Ira and
Yeah,
everybody else, Tim Reynolds, whoever that's been on. You guys are on the one beat that's, you know,
yeah,
always money, dude. It's
right.
there's usually good things going on that team.
Consistently, yes. It's not a
Yeah,
1 year. It's not a 1 year here, 1 year. It's consistently. They're always competitive and looking to win a championship. It might be like 1 or 2 years where you didn't think they had a chance, but other than that, entering season, you always think they have a good chance of at least making some type of playoff run.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you there. So what is the latest on the Damian Lillard trade? What are you hearing? Because they say there's some talk,
Yeah,
but I don't know what the talk is.
there's a lot out there, right? It's getting louder as camp nears, like we all expected, right? The noise has gotten a lot louder this week. As of last night, the Heat and the Blazers have still had very limited contact. Communication has not been good with them. It's not that they haven't talked; they've talked, but nothing substantial really in the last few months. Um, it's not that the Heat don't know what Portland wants. It's not that Portland doesn't know what the Heat is offering. They both know where each other stands. They've made it known what they're looking for, what the Heat is willing to offer, what Portland wants. It's just at this point, there's no deal to be had. And the reason for the lack of communication is both sides are operating under kind of the belief of, okay, well, come back to me when you're ready to do something different, maybe than you originally planned or than we had last talked. Will that happen over the next few days before camp? I don't know, right? It's gotten to this point now where we're 6 days before media day, and it hasn't happened yet, at least as of last night, this morning. Um, I always said I thought a deal would be done before media day in camp, and Dame would be a member of the Heat. But as we get closer and I talk to more people, I know you had Ira on earlier. My belief is getting shaken a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to happen at least before camp at this point, unless something changes drastically. in the next 5 or 6
So
days.
these idiots are going to want to bring Damian Lillard to camp so we can have the Orlando Magic, Howard
Stan Van Gundy.
situation all over again. It's for real, really.
I
Is that?
mean, I think they want to trade him before camp and media day,
Oh,
and
sure.
but will Toronto step up and make an offer that pleases Portland? I don't know if I buy the Toronto stuff, honestly.
Toronto doesn't please Damian. I don't
Right.
understand that. I'm
I
not
I get
understanding these
yeah.
conversations here with Toronto.
Well,
I think this Toronto bullshit is all coming from Portland because the Heat doesn't talk, and
right,
and so and Damian's not talking right now. So to me, these are lies that are being spewed out there because Toronto knows he doesn't want to play for you. So
right.
why would you trade for a guy and risk $300 million for a guy that doesn't want to be with you? I, I just have a see. I'm at the opposite end of you right now. I think these are all lies. I think they're pissed because they know deep down inside they have no choice. They have to make the deal with Miami, and they're trying to create some kind of a market where there
Sure.
is no market in the end because I can't see Toronto or anybody trading for Damian Lillard when they know that they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I
I think that's what the Heat is banking on, right? I think the Heat is banking on,
yes.
okay, we don't have, we don't agree on a deal. You want this, we want to give you this. It's not close. Find a better deal, come back to us. Will Portland go back to the Heat? That's $1 million question. Nobody knows. Will Portland get some type of offer from Toronto and then go to the Heat and tell them this is what we got? We're gonna give you a chance to match it. We know Damian wants to be in Miami. They might not do that. We don't know. Will Toronto even make an offer?
And
Who
Miami
knows?
will laugh at him. Well, go ahead, trade him to Toronto. Go
Yeah.
ahead, no problem. Go ahead. And they
Yeah,
know that
right.
you won't be able to trade him to Toronto.
That's another. I mean, we've seen Kawhi Leonard, right? He wanted to be at the Clippers. He got
Right.
traded to Toronto. They won a championship. He had 1 year left in his contract. Paul
Right.
George, I think he wanted to go to the Clippers as well. Got traded to Oklahoma City. I think he played there a year or two. Then eventually went to the Clippers, just like Kawhi. They got
Right.
where they wanted to go. Dame has 4 years left in his contract. Will
A
he
lot.
play? Maybe. He's a good guy. He's never made a mess of it. Will he report to camp if he's traded to Toronto? Will he play? Maybe. It's possible. But will he always want to play for the Heat? Will he always try to get to the Heat somehow, just like Kawhi and Paul George eventually got to the Clippers?
I
I
think he
mean,
raises this. I told Ira this, and I'll tell you this too. I think he ends up raising a stink, but it's in a classy way. The way he's
right.
going to do it, he's going to deliver his message because, in the end, he has the approval of the public, including the Portland public, that they understand the situation he's in. They're not even hateful of it because this isn't like a LeBron situation where you didn't tell anybody and then you surprise them right there that night and surprise everybody and kind of, diss them
Hmm.
that way. This is different. You've given them everything you can possibly give. And the fans know that their organization is the one that failed, not Damian. So Damian has the public's approval to probably go a little awry here. It won't be Jimmy Butler because that's not who he is,
Sure.
but I'm sure he and the guy that may act a little bit more like Jimmy Butler might be his agent, actually.
Well, his agent's got on the record already during this
Right,
entire thing and made it clear what Dame wants. And that's
right.
he's doing his job, right? I know the NBA stepped in and kind of threatened to punish them, but
Like I
Dame's
told Ira,
agent,
I'll tell
yeah,
you, Toronto's going to call and say, "Hey, we want to trade for." Really, you want to
right,
trade for my guy, Damian Lillard?
right.
Good luck to you if that's what you really want to do. Are you
Unless,
sure? He doesn't have to tell you directly, hey, he doesn't want to play for you. He can just say, without getting in trouble, well, hey, if you want to do that, you go ahead and do that, man. If
yeah,
you think he really is going to be happy there with you, you go ahead. And when you
yeah,
tell him with that inflection, they're going to go, oh, shit.
yeah.
And they're not going to make the $300 million move. So I just have a hard time believing any of this, dude.
I spoke to somebody who wouldn't be surprised if Dame is still with Portland in camp. They think that he will definitely be. This is not going out on a limb, right? But they think really the deadline is the trade deadline. They think he'll definitely be dealt by the deadline, but they would not be
Wow.
surprised if he's taken just like just like Kevin Durant last year. Went to camp, played almost half the season with Brooklyn, eventually got traded to Phoenix. That could be how it plays out. Well, we're going to find out soon. But the way the Heat is operating, I'll tell you right now, he has made an offer. We don't know the exact specifics of that offer, but the initial offer was expected to be built around Tyler Hero, multiple picks, fill in the blanks for salary cap matching purposes, maybe one or two of the young guys, right? Jovic or Jaquez, a salary, another salary to help make it work. But the Heat is they're being very careful because they know by acquiring Dame at 33 years old and Jimmy just turned 34, they can't deplete this roster by making this trade.
No, of course not.
It's not worth making this deal if that's what you're going to do. So their thinking is, if we're going to make this trade, the only way we can justify it is if we keep a supporting cast around these guys that allows us to compete for a championship right now, because we don't have time to build the roster up again. These guys are older.
This can't
They're
be
on
a
the back end of their career.
Trade, bro.
No,
it can't be a Carmelo trade. It can't.
That's their stance, and they're staying strong on it. And we'll see who blinks first. We'll see if the Toronto stuff is real, right? But that's where things stand right now. As of last night, as of this morning, talks between the Heat and the Blazers, it was pretty quiet.
Well, if that's how you want to treat Dame, then that's not going to go off very well. And if you bring him back to camp, the young guys are going to see that and they're going to go, "Wow, is this going to happen to me a few years down the line?" And do I have to then deal with this mess upstairs? And you wonder also, is it still the same owner for the Trailblazers?
I believe they're in the process of selling the team.
Okay.
Yeah. I think right now they're relatives actually who are owning the team, because I think the former owner passed away.
Right.
So I think it's family members, but I think they're in the process of trying to sell the franchise.
Okay. All right. It was the computer guy, right? They used to own it?
Yes. Yeah.
Forgot his name now, and I'm drawing a blank.
Last name is Allen. I'm sorry, I drew a blank.
Paul Allen.
Yeah.
So it's still the same group. So Allen's family is basically running it.
Correct.
Okay. Because you wonder also, if you had like strong ownership, strong ownership might look at this and go, "Hey, go down to Cronin's office and like, what's going on here, dude?
Right.
The hell is going on here? You know what I mean? Because this is our star. How are we going to handle this? You know what I mean?" And that I you don't hear much in that area, and you kind of wonder, if you had strong ownership, would this be a different scenario already at this point in the offseason?
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? They seem to be in a state of transition as well, with at the higher, top of the franchise. So that creates a challenge too. Like, who's calling the shots? We really don't know right now who's calling the shots, right? Because they don't have, like you said, right now, strong ownership, because they're in a transitional phase.
All right, what are you working on the Miami Herald so folks can check you out on the Heat beat?
Yeah, I have a story posted this morning on the latest on the pursuit of Damian Lillard, what's happening right now as of this morning. And we'll continue to monitor that. And then throughout the week, we'll also have preview stuff, Q&As with different players currently on the roster, still on the Heat's roster as of now. And also just, breakdowns of different questions looming over the team entering camp and media day next week.
Follow him on Twitter at Anthony_Chiang and catch his work there at the Miami Herald. Anthony, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
Sounds good, Bigo. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. That is our BaptistHealth.net/ortho Miami Heat report.